Bill Hitchcock. It is August 5th, Tuesday, and we have got a bunch of information to get out to you. Lots of stuff been going on along the coast of North Carolina. Fishing report, bad weather, big drum. It has been phenomenal drum fishing with phenomenally bad weather. Guess what? Tarpon again. We got some great tarpon reports to get out to you. The shrimp are still around. They are bound in the sound and in the creek. Same with the crabs. We're going to talk about that. Viewer fishing reports. Boy, we're going to dedicate an entire segment to viewer fishing reports because it is good. Now, I wanted to move forward with weather. Beach water temperatures all in the 70s along the coast of North Carolina, except in the Wilmington area. Now, this is probably what's going to have people's interest up. Now, last weekend was real windy. Depending on where you were, 20, 25, 30 knot winds out of the north. The temperatures cooled down as indicative of those beach water temperatures. But what was creating all of that is now what is known as Dexter, and he has moved off our coast and going away. But a couple other things we want to talk about. Disturbance number 2, which is just right off the southeastern seaboard. There's a 30% chance of it turning tropical over the next 7 days. That's according to the National Hurricane Center. Also, disturbance 1, which everybody has their eyeballs on, has a 50% chance of turning tropical over the next 7 days. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of models. Storm models, hurricane. The first one is the ECWMF, otherwise known as the Euro. The other one is the GFS, otherwise known as the American model. Now, I want to show you the divergence of what's going on. By the way, before I just remember one thing. It's been at least 10 years longer that I notated that the ECMWF, again known as the Euro, is the singularly most accurate forecasting model for storms and hurricanes. GFS comes in number 2, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. What I want to show you first is on Tuesday, August 5th, this is the forecast of the storm out there or out everywhere in the Atlantic from the ECMWF. First is the Euro. This starts on August 9th and goes through August 20th. Take a look at this. Okay, you see a low pressure system formed right off the coast of North Carolina, and what disturbs me, it is not a hurricane. Hurricanes are 985, 80 millibars or less. It's not a hurricane. What disturbs me is the possible rain and wind scenario because it's parked out there for so long. Now, you don't see anything about a hurricane, and that goes through the 20th. Now, what I want to show you now is the GFS, or the American model. Note how at first it's trying to show that little low pressure system off the coast of North Carolina. It doesn't, but take a look at this. You'll see an arrow point to what apparently is what they're considering the storm that is disturbance number 2, I think it is. It's way off out in the Atlantic, and it is not a hurricane. Now, one of the things I want to stress, yesterday, the GFS showed that disturbance as a hurricane crossing over the tip of Florida and hitting the New Orleans area as a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane. 24 hours later, it's not even a hurricane. It's not even hitting the United States. So again, this is way out. Never, as I always say, never trust a weather report more than 3 days out. But we're going to keep an eye to the sky and see what's going on. Now, fishing report. Let's get on to it. Jeanette's Pier. They report northeast winds have kicked up the ocean, as we can see there, and the red drum are biting. Well, the Jeanette's Pier didn't show any red drum, so I went to Nag's Head Pier. Take a look at there. Melissa Williams with a nice drum this morning. Windy and drummy out there today. The exception to the rule of drum that you're about to hear is, I'm going to show you right now from Captain Rick Caton from the Free Agent, bluefish. Lots of bluefish. Now the Rodanthe Pier, guess what? Drum. And yes, that picture is out of focus. I don't know if it was that windy or what. Let's move on down to Ocracoke, Trade Winds Bait and Tackle. Riley Lancaster from Raleigh, North Carolina, caught a beautiful red drum off the beach on Ocracoke. Heading on down in the Emerald Isle area, Crystal Coast area, it says, loving the nor'easter this Sunday morning. So are the reds. So you're starting to catch on to the program. Now, I want to show you one little thing here. You may recall the last show I was talking about how thick the shrimp and crabs are in the back creeks and the sound areas. I went out 2 days ago in the wind. It was blowing 25 plus knots. Shrimp, take a look at this, throwing a little cast net. Shrimps and crabs are still in the backwater creeks, and there I am again throwing in like a 25 knot wind. Fortunately, for the most part, that wind was behind me, but also hopefully I'm showing you, I showed that the shrimp, when you get them in your cast net, like to go up to the very head end, so be careful, they got the little pointy thing, sometimes you get shish kebab. So the shrimp are out and about. Now in the southern area, Jolly Roger Pier, well, guess what? Here's Jesse, as they say, with a nice drum. Imagine that. He caught released yesterday evening. Also, Colin with a tarpon he caught and released this morning. Now listen to this. This is the only place we've heard this. Is that we also caught limits of speckled trout and some nice spots and sea mullet last night. So that's pretty much, it's been drum up and down the coast of North Carolina. But take a look at this. Viewer catches, viewer submissions. I love this. We got a bunch of them. Jimmy Powell, he said, I caught this 5-foot hammerhead while trolling a Clark spoon at 6 miles an hour, fishing for mackerel. I was right outside of Bogue Inlet. He was released to have fun. Jimmy Powell. Jimmy, thank you for that. Now we have viewer Joe H. He says, hi, Bill. Just in case no one has sent in a pic of this tarpon caught off the Wrightsville Beach Pier, I have it attached for your enjoyment. I am new to Southeast North Carolina and enjoy your YouTube channel and learn quite a lot about saltwater fishing, having been a largemouth bass angler for decades. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you. Kind regards, Joe H. Welcome to the club. Yay. Viewer, my name is, now listen to this. I love this report. He says, my name is Tom Costa from Maysville, North Carolina. Today, my daughter, Taylor Costa, caught her first inshore slam. We were fishing in and around Huggins Island using fiddler crabs and cut bait. Now, Huggins Island, if you're on the Swansboro, on the bridge in between Swansboro and Cedar Island, that island is between there and Bogue Inlet. Actually, once you go past that island, you'll get into Dudley's Island, then Bogue Inlet. So that's the area they were fishing. It said all fish were caught in about 2 feet of water on the incoming tide. We targeted grass edges and oyster beds. I'm super proud of my daughter and wanted to share with you and your watchers. There's a 17-inch flounder release, 18-inch speckled trout, and an unmeasured release puppy drum. Very respectfully, Tom Costa. Now that is a fantastic report. He did the who, what, where, when, why, and hows. So, and we all learn. So thank you very much, Tom, for that fishing report. Another viewer, Alan Morris, he says, we were fishing out of Southport Cape Fear River Inlet area. 13-year-old Caden Carr caught this 4.28-pound Spanish mackerel about 10 miles out. This Spanish was caught on a live pogie light lining. Thanks for all you do, Alan Morris. Thank you, Alan. Now, he made mention about light lining a pogie or a menhaden. And as the name implies, that you quite literally put he had a live menhaden and just threw it overboard, and there's no weight or floater, it's just flopping in the current, and that can be extremely productive fishing for a lot of different type of fish, not only Spanish but kings and some tunas and billfish. All right, viewer Matt Cubble or Cubel, hopefully I pronounced it right, one of those two staffs. He says, hi Bill, just wanted to show off a 7-pound donkey I caught on Southport Pier. There you go, caught on a mud crab. Fish on. Thanks, Mad Cubel or Cubble. By the way, I've had some requests for reports at the Southport Pier there on the waterfront in Southport, and there's no access to it, and I don't know, it's not supervised or run by anybody per se. Of course, it's city run. So if you got fishing report information from the Southport Pier, Southport area, matter of fact, one of my most favorite places when Jimmy Price was around was Wildlife Bait and Tackle. Hard getting fishing report information out of them. So email me, everybody, email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. Send me your fishing reports, send your videos, send your pictures, whether you're just a person, first time, or an experienced fisherman, whether you're a bait and tackle shop, a pier, a guide, a charter, it doesn't matter. Just send in. And by the way, I've had a couple people say, resend evidently their materials to me saying, look, I sent this in and I didn't get a response. Well, evidently that's been happening. So if you send me something and don't get a response, send it again, because evidently I didn't get it. All right, that's all the time that I have for the fishing report. It's been snotty weather out there, but the drum love that type of conditions, and they're being caught all up and down the coast of North Carolina. All righty, until next time, I'm Bill Hitchcock. See ya.